can we just talk about that ending for a second? Like, oh my god, guys, that ending. Okay, not even the full ending, right? Just the last part with Arya. Like, that was really good. I gotta say, that last part with Arya, it was like I I kind of knew that it was happening. I knew it was happening as soon as I saw her in the dark room with that candle. I was like, I remember this scene. I know what's happening. I know what's about to go down, and it went down, right? Like, she killed her. She finally killed her. We finally got her. She's dead. We all hate her, and she's dead now. And that's just great. That's we've been waiting for this for a while, and I don't know. It's just nice seeing it actually happen. That she's finally dead because honestly, like I said, no one likes her. No one appreciates her at all. No one likes her. Um, Obviously, I'm talking about the not the Faith Milton, but the mini face god little cleanup girl, whatever. She is very annoying. We've all hated her, and she's dead. Arya got to her. Arya led her into that room, which was honestly really good. I didn't see it happening at first. I actually wrote down. I was really confused when she was falling down those stairs. It put a close up of the blood on the fruit, and I actually wrote down on my notes, like Arya's blood is on the fruit. What does that mean? Because I was just kind of curious, like, what does this mean? Why is her blood? Why are they giving us such a close up shot of Arya's blood on the fruit? But I guess that was just nothing. Because then we found out that Arya is she's dead. I mean, not Arya's dead, but Arya killed the little mini face god. Whatever. So we're done with that. We don't have to deal with her anymore. I think we can finally move on with Arya's character. We can finally get going with that. Get a start. She said she's going home. Um, Obviously she doesn't really have a home. She's got the North, but we'll see what happens there. We got to wait for Jon and Sansa to take that. But let's not go backwards to forwards like we did last time. Let's actually jump back real quick and start at the very first of the episode, the very first part. We're at the play, and and I forget her name. It's what's her name? I think it's Lady Crane. Lady Crane takes Arya in and starts to help Arya, and that's pretty much that. She just starts feeding her, and I actually had my suspicions that that was the wife. I think that's how you say it, wife. I thought that was her for a bit. For a second, I thought she was gonna poison her, but it ended up being just Lady Crane. We're done with that. So that's Arya. That's Arya for the rest. That was it. That was just Arya getting a little bit better, and then Arya killing her. So that was Arya in this episode. Next up, in the very first part, um, we had the Hound, and the Hound just walks up to this camp of four guys, and in the first part of the scene, we have the guys just messing with the two younger guys, right? Like the two younger guys, you can tell they're kind of new. They don't really know what's going on. They're just kind of new to wherever those guys were from. They're new knight. No, I wouldn't say knights, but new soldiers, I guess. And so they're just messing around with them, and then the Hound just walks up, right, and he just starts going off on them. He just starts killing them all. It's honestly crazy. That was something, right? So the Hound just goes up and starts kicking ass, um, at the four-man camp, which was, I don't know, that was a really just actually pleasant scene, seeing the Hound just going fucking balls to the wall, just not even caring what he's doing. It was great. So after we can move on past the Hounds, we have Tyrion and Varys. Um, this was kind of a sad scene actually, because we start off with Tyrion and Varys and they're talking and everything, and it's just like it's kind of sad because Varys is leaving, and Varys is such an awesome character. Like, he's not leaving for good, obviously. Well, we hope he's going on a secret mission, but it's just Tyrion and Varys were such good friends, and that like they weren't even like, I don't know, they weren't even like whatever, but they were, I don't know, it was their friendship really clicked to me. Their friendship was really awesome. Tyrion and Varys, they were super good together, and you could tell that they didn't really know they were friends until they're actually leaving. You saw that last bit where he's like, "I can't be going out there with the most famous imp in I think he said Westeros or something," and then Tyrion corrected him and was like, "I'm the famous imp in the world." I was sad for Varys leaving too. Yeah, that was a pretty sad moment. Um, Cersei and the Faith Militant conflict. That was that might have been my favorite scene of this episode because we start off with Cersei coming out of the crypt, and Cersei's coming out, and we go out there and we know something's gonna go down because if you see the preview, you see her say, the preview, the last episode, you saw her say that she chooses violence, and so they fight a little bit, and the Mountain just literally grabs one of them and rips his head off. Like that scene, there it obviously went a little bit more in depth than what I just described, but that scene was just really cool. That scene was something else. It was I actually really enjoyed that scene. It was I don't know. It just anytime the Faith Militant get a step back, and because I feel like the Faith Militant hasn't really had any downscales in their plans or whatever this entire time, and then now they're actually like getting just they're on a losing streak right now. Well, not now, but at that point in time when that scene happened, it just felt like the Faith Militant finally got a little bit of what they deserve. You know, he just completely killed the man. It was crazy. It was something else. That was a cool scene. I actually really enjoyed it. All right, moving on to that was really funny seeing the cousin's face. I wrote this down. I put the cousin's face equals fear because literally at that moment, whenever he rips that head off, his face just literally went straight into fear. Cersei wins, and the Faith Militant finally lose something, which is what I just talked about. Moving on from the Faith Militant, we get to Bran. No, not Bran. Bronn and Podrick. Sorry about that. So we have Bronn and Podrick, and that was literally one of my favorite, like, just coming together moments because if you guys remember, I think it was like 2 seasons ago or something when it was Tyrion, Podrick, and Bronn. They were like the 3 musketeers. They literally did like everything together. It was great. It was super fun to watch that. And then now it's just they all split up, and so then you see them coming together, and it's a really cool moment where they can just mess around with each other. And then they actually start talking about having sex with Brienne, which was a pretty funny scene. Okay, so then Jaime and Brienne, they talk about her oaths and all that good stuff, and then they talk about trying to get Blackfish to surrender the castle, which we kind of know isn't going to happen. But Brienne, she can't convince Blackfish to send troops to Sansa and to surrender the castle. She can't convince that. So she basically gets out, but we find out really when she gets out a little bit later in the episode. But we can talk about that right now. And that's that Blackfish died. He died fighting for his pride, which I would have much rather him came with Brienne. That would have been a lot better choice. I think everyone would have enjoyed that more had he went with Brienne and went with Sansa. That would have been that would have been really cool seeing Sansa, Jon, and Blackfish together. That would have been a really cool trio. But sadly, we don't get to see that, so that's fine. But yeah, so Blackfish died fighting for his pride and whatever. But Blackfish is dead. Pod and Brienne made it out. And that was kind of sad seeing Brienne and Jaime wave to each other because Jaime and Brienne, it's just like, it's like love without love. Like, it's really hard to explain, but the two just click together. It's really nice. I don't know. I don't know. I like Brienne and I like Jaime. Jaime's character has literally changed so much. Jaime and Cersei's characters, I'm literally rooting for them both at this point. It's crazy, but for some reason, I guess because of they're bad, but the people that they're going up against are just worse than they are. So it's like pick the lesser of two evils. Pretty much like the presidency today. Okay, so we're back in Westeros, and there's a meeting for the crown. They're in the room, and basically they end trial by combat, which is huge on so many levels because anytime you think back to half of the reason, like half of the characters on the show are alive, Tyrion would be dead right now had trial by combat not been around. Remember, if you guys can remember back a while ago when Tyrion actually got Bronn, this is when they became friends. He had trial by combat up at the Vale, and that would have went completely different had trial by combat not been a thing. He'd be dead. We wouldn't know about Bronn. Be a completely different story. And so the fact that they're ending trial by combat is just completely huge. Obviously, Tommen's getting played by the Faith Militant, which is God, it's so annoying. I cannot wait for that priest to die. Like, literally, his death, I think I'm going to enjoy it more than I enjoyed Joffrey's death. Like, I hate that priest so much. It's honestly crazy how much I hate him. Okay, so, um, this okay, right when they ended trial by combat, this part kind of interested me, right? Like, I couldn't make out exactly what they were saying, but whenever I forget I what's the name? It's the guy that made the mountain. I forget his name. But him and Cersei are talking right after that, and he says he says something about, remember that rumor that you told me a while ago. And right when I heard that, I was thinking, okay, they're talking about the incest, that they would call a rumor, which we know it's true, and pretty much everyone knows it's true, but they would just call it a rumor. Um, Here's what I took from that. I took that, worst comes to worst, Cersei can literally just admit that Tommen does not have a right to the throne. I mean, she could literally just cause so much chaos by just throwing her pride and Jaime's pride away and just completely ruining her son. She could literally do that because all she would have to say is, "Hey guys, me and Jaime had sex and this is our kid." And that would be crazy. Like, he would not have a right to the throne. He would be an incestual baby, which has no right to the throne. He wouldn't, like, he was never the son of the king. He nothing. He had no relation to the throne at all. And that would just cause complete utter chaos. So it's either going to be that, or like someone just said in the comments, it's going to be that or the wildfire. They're about to bring the wildfire back. Either way, that'd be really cool. This is going to get really elaborate, and either way, it'll be a cool story to follow. So moving a little bit on from there, we get Tyrion and Missandre, and what's his name? I forget his name. I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. But the head soldier. So he finally gets them to drink, and so once he gets them to drink, they start telling jokes. And this was almost like the last time they were in the room together when they had that super awkward conversation before Varys showed up. This was kind of like that when they were making these super super awkward jokes, and it was just really cringy, to be honest. They were just sitting in that room, just kind of making awful drinking jokes to each other, and it was really bad, but it was funny nonetheless. But then right when that happened, we start hearing the alarms, and there's a bunch of ships outside, and we'll go a little bit more into that towards the end of this because it comes back. But yeah, it was nice seeing them happy for a second, seeing them laugh together and drink together. That was nice, but everything nice comes to an end. But this is a little bit more with Blackfish dying, fights inside Riverrun, because of course we see the actual Lord of Riverrun come back. He comes in there. He's released from his little prison, being held hostage. And he goes in there, and he basically just says, open the gates, let him take it, and find Blackfish and give him over. And that's what they do. And Blackfish dies in the midst of it, which we could pretty much all see happening. Again, like I said earlier, I really wish that Blackfish could have made it to Sansa, made it to... just any part in the north, to be honest. Just if he could have made it up there with Sansa and Jon, that would have been a super, super cool scene. Just seeing those three characters together would have been really cool. But, like I said, Blackfish died fighting, and then Jaime waves bye to Brienne and Pod, which was kind of sad scene. But yeah, that's that part of the episode. So then we get into the actual kind of what I was just talking about earlier, the fights where in Daenerys' place. Daenerys isn't there at this point. There's a bunch of ships shooting there, and basically Tyrion's admitting he's wrong because it's the slave masters coming back, and Tyrion admits he's wrong, and he gives command ship over to not the slave commander but the army commander, Grey Worm. That's his name, Grey Worm. He gives the command ship to Grey Worm. And Grey Worm basically says, we're staying in the pyramid. We're not going to the beach. We go to the beach, we're going to die. We're going to stay in the pyramid, and we're going to stay here, and we're going to fight, and we're going to fight and fight and fight until we die. And if we die, then we die trying, which was respectable. But right before that happens, Daenerys walks in. Daenerys, I don't know why it's so just amazing seeing her out of the sand. Like, I mean, I understand they're in a pyramid right now, but it's just so happy seeing. It's such a good feeling seeing her back. Like, we've had it. She's been on the run for so long. She's such a good character. Everyone loves her, and she's finally back. And it's great. It's super awesome having Daenerys back. And now that Dany's back, we can finally, hopefully, progress on her story. I actually thought that was the Greyjoys with the ships at first, not the slave masters. But so Dany's back. That's a definitely a positive thing. And then of course, like I said in the end of the episode, Lady Crane died. Arya killed the wife, I think it is, and basically she went to the many-faced god's place, the assassin's place. And she told him, you know what? I'm leaving. Because he said, a girl is finally no one. And she said, no, I'm Arya Stark. And I'm getting up. I'm getting up out of here. I'm not standing here anymore. And it kind of confused me because we've been portrayed that these people are like these highly trained religious assassins who have incredible power, incredible speed, whatever you want to say. They're incredible assassins. That's what we've been led to believe. But... and he's done all these tests where he said that she's not no one, all the time in the beginning where he would say, you're not no one, you're Arya Stark, and she would say, I am no one. But now it's like they've switched places, but like how can he say she's no one? Maybe he was just scared for his life, like, I mean, which would also be kind of weird. But he's sitting there saying a girl's finally no one when he should know that she's not no one. Like, he knows that she's Arya Stark, and if he's as good as, he says he is and everything, then why? Like, why is he saying that she's no one when she's obviously someone, and he should know that. He's this, like, incredible many-faced god assassin who can tell when someone's no one, but he said she's no one. Maybe she is no one at this point. Maybe she, by killing the other person, she's crossed the line into just basically being a full-blown assassin no matter where she goes. But either way, he lets her leave, and that's the end of the episode, basically. We get the Hounds at the last part going in there and killing the two and putting on the boot, and we see him teaming up with the people that he was with when he was with Arya, actually. So we see that happening, and they team up for a second. He actually kills the people that killed his friend and everything. And they're talking, and that's pretty much the end of the episode. That's all that happens. It was I don't know. I feel like a lot of small stuff happened. It was a lot of information. Just, I don't know. It was not, I wouldn't say poorly portrayed, obviously. I loved the episode. That was definitely a better episode than we've received in the past, 2 weeks now? Because stuff actually happened. In the last 2 weeks, we've had just setup episodes and everything. But, yeah, that's going to be it. That's my review and recap for Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 8. Yeah, so that was that. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you guys do enjoy the review, this is going to be up on YouTube Live. If you guys do enjoy these reviews, they might seem a little bit weird because, like I've said before, I live stream these things, and since I live stream them, I have to read chat too as well. So I read chat, and I reply to people on chat. So if you're watching this on YouTube after the live stream has ended, and it's like I randomly start reading something or something along those lines, it's probably someone in the live stream chat. But make sure to check out the live streams every single weekend after Game of Thrones airs. We're live on this channel.